very good evening to all our viewers. Now, fitness issues of the men in blue are haunting the selectors no end. With the second string team being bullied into submission in England, fans are expecting retribution when the English land here. However, given that the injuries are only mounting, the squad announced for the revenge series is increasingly beginning to look like an India A team. Now, needless to mention, the selectors had their work cut out for them. And joining us, of course, to talk about those exact selection worries is India's chief selector, Krish Srikanth, exclusively on NDTV Hindu. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to the show. You're watching Headlines now with me, Ashmit. Let's first take a look at the top stories. After fresh charges of criminal breach of trust, Raja slams the CBI, says he will appear in court only after the probe is completed. Even as Pranab Da and Chidambaram mend fences, activist Kiran Bedi turns on the heat, says Supreme Court and the JPC are still watching.
It may be closed for them, but it's certainly open before the JPC and it's certainly open before the Supreme Court. So you will hear much more about it from these two levels.
Crores of rupees unleashed in the government's freebie schemes, but Fachati victims have to make do with a paltry compensation of 15,000 rupees. A big relief for Chief Minister Jayalalitha. The Madras High Court quashes all proceedings against Amma in the 2 crore rupees birthday gift case. After taking on the land grab offensive against party colleagues, their arrests and now the local body polls, DMK Treasurer Stalin now combats flu. Reaching out to voters haunts smaller candidates, independents miffed with greater challenges of Greater Chennai.
You see, we doesn't have much contact with the other area. Now we have to build up the contact with the other area, which is now added to our area now.
And Caribbean all-rounder Bravo spills the beans on CSK's success mantra.
In the history of Chennai team, they normally start off slow and then build up as the tournament progress. So hopefully this is, that win is a sign of the good things to come in.
Well, let's also take a look at developments that are coming in from across the country. The Delhi police files the second charge sheet in the Cash for Votes case. The Speaker denies permission to prosecute BJP MP Argal. A day after CBI said that it's probing Anil Ambani in 2G scam, his company's stocks take a dip. A setback to tax evader Hassan Ali. The Supreme Court cancels his bail given by the Bombay High Court in a money laundering case. Following the fallout between the US and Pakistan over Mike Mullen's statement, Chidambaram says India always knew of ISI's links with terrorists. Well, first up, former Telecom Minister A. Raja's lawyer has slammed the CBI, saying that the investigating agency should clarify the status of the 2G case against Raja. Now, the CBI has told one court that the investigation is over and another court that the investigation is still pending. Now, the court should call the investigating officers and ask them to clarify this issue. Till then, he won't appear in the case. That's of course, the statement being delivered by Raja's lawyer. Now, the lawyer was arguing on the new charge leveled against Raja, under which the maximum sentence is life imprisonment. The matter will be taken up on the 7th of October. Now, in fact, for more on this, we were joined by Neha Khanna, the senior correspondent with NDTV 24/7. She joined us for the latest on the status of investigation.
It's interesting that when these arguments took place in the trial court today, all that the special public prosecutor representing the CBI said is that what's happening before the Supreme Court cannot be discussed in the trial court, and that is Raja has any grievance vis-a-vis the Supreme Court proceedings, and he will have to take it to the Supreme Court. In fact, even the trial court judge, it seemed initially, was really not in the mood to entertain this particular plea by Raja's lawyer, saying that what is happening before the Supreme Court should not be discussed here. So, frankly, the CBI stand has been rather ambiguous, but let's not forget that the CBI has, in the recent past, also suffered a series of setbacks in the 2G case, with several government agencies in their reports actually coming out with findings that have gone in favor of the accused and weakened the CBI's case in many ways. Those reports, whether it's the TRAI's report or the Law Ministry's report, have really given a fillip to the defense and its case, and we believe that it is because the CBI was worried that its case was floundering that it decided to take this tough stance and slap these fresh charges. We'll have to, of course, wait and see whether the court agrees with the CBI that these charges should be imposed on the accused. But as of now, it seems there's growing friction, really, between the defense and the prosecution in this case.
Well, staying with the 2G theme at this point, the crisis within the government seems to be over, at least for now. A week ago, a 2G note surfaced from the Finance Ministry which seemed to blame the Home Minister for not intervening in the 2G case. Now, Pranab versus Chidambaram made headlines and haunted the government even while the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister were in New York for work. Now seen together for the first time since the crisis, yesterday Pranab and Chidambaram cleared the air while experts will continue to analyze if the crisis within has blown over or is now even more out in the open. The CBI again on Thursday defended the Home Minister in the Supreme Court, saying that the Home Minister P. Chidambaram alone could not take the decision on cancellation of licenses. Well, meanwhile, with the 2G noose threatening to tighten around the Home Minister P. Chidambaram, the CBI today widened the scope of investigations. The CBI told the court, and I quote, "The letters of intent were issued on 10th of Jan 2008. Finance Minister alone could not have cancelled the letters of intent. Being a major decision, Government of India alone could have taken the decision because of the litigations involved." Unquote. Now, Pranab Mukherjee and P. Chidambaram may have patched up last evening, but the BJP continues its attack on the Home Minister. The BJP said that despite the evidence of his culpability and complicity, A. Raja is the only one in jail. Ravi Shankar Prasad also accused the government of preferential treatment in favour of Chidambaram. Meanwhile, the CPM chief Karat too unleashed, saying that the matter was not closed.
This preference being given to Mr. Chidambaram in spite of voluminous evidence of his culpability and complicity only demonstrates that different yardsticks are being followed. अध्यक्ष जी ने आज एक सवाल यह भी उठाया कि 2G के मामले में स्पेक्ट्रम प्राइसिंग को ग्रुप ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स के अंतर्गत रखा गया था और यह कैबिनेट की सहमति से रखा गया था। प्रधानमंत्री ये देश को बताएं कि उन्होंने बिना कैबिनेट की सलाह लिए श्री मारन के दबाव में स्पेक्ट्रम प्राइसिंग को ग्रुप ऑफ मिनिस्टर के दायरे से बाहर क्यों निकाला।
Well, reverberations of these developments were also being felt right here in Chennai. Kiran Bedi, while speaking in the city, slammed the mending of fences by the top union ministers. She maintained that the matter is not closed, in fact, and that the JPC and the Apex Court are still watching.
This matter is pending at two levels at the moment, as I followed the story very carefully. One is the JPC, the second is the Supreme Court. So as far as I, as a citizen who's been following the story very carefully, it may be closed for them, but it's certainly open before the JPC and it's certainly open before the Supreme Court. So you will hear much more about it from these two levels, and certainly from the Supreme Court, which is entirely a neutral body.
Well, but despite calls for sacking the Home Minister gathering pace, P. Chidambaram, in a lighter vein on his reports of tendering resignation, spoke of memory loss.
That is not a matter that concerns the Ministry of Home Affairs, and I am briefing you as the Home Minister.
In more developments from the state now, in a major relief for Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha, the Madras High Court has quashed all proceedings against her in the 2 crore rupees birthday gift case. According to the CBI, Jayalalitha had received demand drafts worth 2 crore rupees from 57 people on her birthday in 1992. Now, the agency found many names to be fictitious and many had even denied purchasing drafts for her. However, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister had sought the case to be quashed, citing delay in filing of charge sheet even after more than a decade. Well, in reports from the DMK camp now, it appears that the struggle against the land grab offensive and the large-scale arrests is beginning to take a toll. The DMK treasurer Stalin, in fact, is reported to have succumbed to the flu virus. He has been hospitalized in the city's Apollo Hospital. More details are still awaited. Now, the expansion of the Chennai Corporation turf has taken centre stage in view of the upcoming local body elections. Now, while this is considered a big step for the development of the city, many candidates view the expansion as a setback to their goal of setting foot in the administration of Chennai Corporation. Krishnamurthy tells us why.
Sridharan is contesting as an independent candidate from T Nagar for the post of councillor. This is his way of being the change he wanted to see after the previous administration didn't quite live up to his expectation.
Mainly, I am going to concentrate on civic issues. We are having a lot of problems with respect to garbage, drainage, a lot of streets water is not coming properly. And last 20 years, people they have said they have been electing these political parties and they are not getting proper results and they are also not approachable.
But Sridharan is worried about the hiccups he faces to realize his dream of becoming a councillor. With the expansion of the Chennai Corporation limits, many areas previously under different zones have conglomerated into a single ward. Candidates are miffed with the expanded limits as they now have to build a rapport with voters who hardly recognize them. They feel this will virtually eat into their vote bank.
You see, we doesn't have much contact with the other area. Now we have to build up the contact with the other area, which is now added to our area now. And 2 weeks time election is over. So to canvass in all these things, practical difficulties are there.
Many mayoral candidates feel hamstrung by the limited time to campaign. They argue while assembly elections provided a month's time to campaign in a particular constituency, campaigning in the entire city in less than 20 days is virtually an impossible task.
கேட்டாலும் முடியாது இல்லையா முடிவு செய்யப்பட்டனால அதுக்குட்பட்டு நம்மளுடைய பிரச்சார வேகமா ஓய்வின்றி நம்ம செய்ய வேண்டியதுதான்.
Many candidates are trying to woo as many voters as possible in a limited time available to them. With this election throwing up numerous challenges to candidates, looks like the road to Chennai Corporation will be a hard-fought battle. In Chennai, this is Krishnamurthy for NDTV Hindu.
Well, selection worries are haunting Team India, making arguably the most difficult job in Indian cricket, selection all the more difficult. Now with the likes of Yuvraj, Sehwag, Tendulkar sitting out, what's the challenge for the chief selector Krish Srikanth? He'll join us on the other side and tell us more. Keep watching.